Socks, locks, and rocks. What do they have in common? Well, they will not help you grow on LinkedIn. That's a fact. It's actually true. And that's why we invited the Fox. No, Judy Fox, LinkedIn's business accelerator, joins the show today to discuss 4 amazing LinkedIn strategies that will help you grow your social media business, but will also help you grow your customers as well. Stay tuned, everybody. It's Social Media Lab Live.
To bust some myths in the social media ecosystem. Welcome to the Social Media Lab Live, brought to you by Agorapulse, where our social media scientists experiment on real accounts to crack the code on social media success for your business.
Type 5 to subscribe to the show.
Now your hosts, Owen Video and Scott Ayers.
Hey, welcome back to the Social Media Lab Live, where social media professionals like you bust the myths, the rumors, and the stories of social media with
science!
There it is. We're live every Wednesday at 9 a.m. PST, streaming on Facebook and on YouTube, and you can join the tribe when you give me 5. That's right. Type 5 into the comment section now to join us in the Social Media Lab Lounge, where you'll get insider access, contribute to the show, and more. Just type 5 in the comment section now. I'm Owen Video, your host, MC, and I'm here with the #1 social media scientist, Scott Ayers.
Yeah, need the sound effect there. Yeah, hey, our show today is sponsored and brought to you by Agorapulse. Agorapulse is the #1 social media management tool for social media marketers, small business, agency owners. So if you want to schedule your posts, respond to comments, and get more customers all from one easy-to-use interface, I need you to go over to getagorapulse.com. You'll get a free trial, 28-day free trial, by the way.
That's good.
And then once you sign up, if you use the coupon code LIVE, L-I-V-E, you're going to get the first month free on your paid account. So make sure you run over to getagorapulsenow.com after the show. Maybe open another tab and do it after the show. But make sure you do that and use that coupon code.
That's good. I love it. Yeah, Agorapulse is an amazing software, and they are the sponsor of the show. We love using that software, and we've got a question of the day for you today. On a scale of 1 to 4, how often do you use LinkedIn? You know, I think it's like, how active are you on LinkedIn? Are you sort of like this everyday person? Maybe if you are, that's a 4. If you're never on LinkedIn, rarely, you just kind of peep in because someone told you to, that's probably like a 1. Let us know in the comment section where you are on a scale of 1 to 4. We would love to hear from you in the comment section now. Scott, great to be with you here today. I missed you. I was gone. I was out of town like all last week, and we didn't get a chance to powwow too much before today's show. As such, it might be a complete disaster. Like right now when my sound effects are not working. But
I'll do it for you. Wah, 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 wah.
Yeah, thank you. You know it. Oh, so Scott, how about you? How active are you on LinkedIn?
Man, it varies. I mean, there's some days where I check it usually every day to see, because I get a lot of notifications on the mobile app. I use it on the mobile app more than anything.
Your timing is impeccable. Timing's impeccable this morning.
Yeah, so I'm on there a lot. I'm not as active as I used to be. Like the groups or the communities on there, they're so huge. I'm an admin of one group. It's like 60,000 people or something, and it's just spam city all day long.
Yeah.
And so I'm not over there as much as I want to be or as I used to be, because it just hasn't appealed to me lately. But with everybody kind of, I don't know, the whole exit delete Facebook movement, people are finding LinkedIn to be a really hot spot to go back over and talk about. Especially talk about things within your niche. I think it's a cool place to be.
Yeah, how many of you guys are spending time in groups versus spending time in, in the news feed? I would love to hear from you, especially you, Deb Mitchell. Don't try to sneak in and out. We see you out there. Our top fan, Chrissy Buck, is in the audience today. Chrissy, great to have you here. Dustin Stout joins the show. Stephen B. O'Sullivan says, "Morning, gentlemen." Brad Friedman is out there as well. Great to have you guys on the show. And Kathy Jung is saying, "I wish I was a 5." Where does she say? She kind of pushes herself. She says, "I'm a 3, but I wish that I could be a 5 on the LinkedIn activity? Well, I think a big challenge for a lot of us is what to do on LinkedIn. You know, I definitely struggle a little bit with like what to post. You know, I posted a little bit some of my funny memes because I try to make business fun, believe it or not, if you guys could figure that out. Oh, did we get it? There we go. I got some sound effects. Finally, we're back on. Yeah, yeah, we got our sound effects back, folks. I try to be fun, but I'll tell you, in my opinion, I'm just going to say it. Can I say it? Do you guys want me to say it? If you want me to say it, type yeah in the comment section right now. I'm just going to say it. Y'all LinkedIn people are boring. I did. You guys are boring. I go in there and I post this really funny content, and it's just kind of like, I'm a boomer, and this is not appropriate for LinkedIn, you know. And I kind of get that feeling from everybody, and it's like I want to make it fun, and so I'm learning how to communicate with y'all. You know what I mean? I'm sort of like this in-your-face kind of guy, but I guess it doesn't always work on LinkedIn. And that's what we're going to dig into today. And we are bringing in LinkedIn's foremost expert, Judy Fox, to talk about what type of posts work best and 4 LinkedIn strategies that are going to work best. If you haven't met her before, prepare to be amazed. Judy Fox does amazing work. She is formerly from the corporate world. She does these incredibly funny, laugh out loud videos on LinkedIn. Maybe I'm not pretty enough. Can I say that? Are you allowed to say that on the air these days? I'll tell you. Ding. I know, right? You know. I'm being handcuffed and carted away by the police department, the PC police. Look, Judy does lots of really fun stuff on LinkedIn, and it kind of gives us this opening idea of how we can use LinkedIn. So, ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, give it up for our friend, the LinkedIn Business Accelerator, Judy Fox. Judy, welcome to the show. Talk to us a little bit about.
Leaning into the hair and the ears.
I know. What kind of people are logging into the show and they're like, "What in the hell, Bobby?" We've got a guy in a Cheeto wig. We've got the fox ears, and really just my debonair good looks. And so, with all of that said, Judy Fox, what the heck do we do on LinkedIn?
You come into the platform as a leader. So taking it, instead of thinking professional, which does come across as boring, try to think of it as leader, and you can be a hilarious leader.
So talk to us. Does hilarity work, and
yes.
in what way? I mean, expand on that a little bit for us.
So I have done videos where I show up with my accents. I talk in a Southern accent, and she is my Virginia Marie Penn. She's my social media manager, and she just helps me out. She opens my mail. And so she does things like that on video on LinkedIn. And the reason why it works is because you're still showing up in the copy. The written copy is still that professional / leadership level copy, but you can be hilarious in the videos.
What types of videos, give us a sense, like what types of videos do you do? Is this like vertical vids? Are these like professionally produced Shay Rowbottom style vids? By the way, if you guys aren't following Shay Rowbottom on LinkedIn, she is a phenomenal video creator. Really, I think setting the bar very, very high there. What types of videos, Therese, can you take care of that? What types of videos are you doing on LinkedIn? And are you posting them anywhere else?
I do post them other places. A lot of times everyone has a different style, and Shay's is definitely amazing. And it does require a lot more editing because she tightens up all of her clips to just get it to pop.
Yes.
And the way that I show up is coming from a place of, how do I say this? I'm a single parent. I'm doing what I can, and I'm running my business. So I will take an Instagram story.
Yeah.
And then I will upload that directly to LinkedIn. And to me, it ends up being more important that your copy is leadership and professional and meant to up-level people versus trying, for me personally, to get my video to be perfect.
Okay. All right. Well, we're going to dig into that. We're going to dig into that today. on the show. We're going to be covering 4 big LinkedIn strategies that you need to know. So if you're in the audience right now, I'd love to know, scale of 1 to 4, where are you in terms of activity on LinkedIn? Are you very, very active? That's a 4. Are you not active at all? That's a 1. And we hope that through today's episode, you'll learn at least one of the 4 new tapestries, one of the 4 tapestries that will help you grow on LinkedIn. And we've got some great people out there. I want to recognize, first of all, Natsim Beltran, who is saying Branson is definitely a leader on LinkedIn. Greg Thorner is watching. Tony Christensen, Tony does ads, is saying that Judy Fox is incredible. Natsim is saying Virgin Voyages has an amazing LinkedIn. In fact, I would love to hear from you guys. Who's amazing on LinkedIn? Tag them if you can tag them. Otherwise, write their name in the comment section below. Scott, let's dig into the content today. Let's talk about the benefit of investing in LinkedIn. First of all, why does LinkedIn matter, or does it matter at all?
Oh, I think it definitely matters. I mean, it's one of the oldest social sites that's out there. I think I was on it before Facebook. And when I ran, especially I did a B2B, it was B2B/B2C business moving cars. That's where I got all of my business from, was on LinkedIn.
Wow.
So I think it's still a hot place to be. I think you do have to think a little bit differently, but just like Judy just pointed out, I mean, she's doing character. She's just being her on LinkedIn, and people appreciate that. I think there's that funny meme going around right now with the 4 different squares of who you are.
Yeah.
On Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram, or Tinder. I think that's really interesting because people do see the social sites so differently, but some people are just the same in all of them. And I think there's a big, huge benefit to that, to just being consistent in all of them. Yeah. So I think for us, testing, what we're going to do is we're going to cover a couple of tests that we've done and kind of get Judy's, we should label it like Judy's take, or something like that on the different tests. You want to hop into the first one?
Yeah, let's jump into that. So the first strategy is the best type of posts. Judy, we're going to ask you right now, what is the best type of post that you should post on LinkedIn?
I was joking and saying it should be the one that gets likes and comments. The best type of post is the one where you can shine the best. So if you are able to be on video and you feel comfortable, I would say, and I keep saying it, the copy is so important. The platform was always a platform built to read. So if you can nail the written word and the copy, you'll pretty much do anything well on LinkedIn.
Talk about that. Now, it's like the description. That's like the actual posting copy. Copy means like the text, right? For those of you guys out there. By the way, where is Naomi Nakashima and Sarah Hecker? I want to see my top fans out there today. So how do you do that? Give us the strategy for writing a good LinkedIn description.
So if you notice some of the more viral content, if you look at Shay Rowbottom's copy of her videos, if you look at my copy, there's always a hook, an opening line that either it has been put out into the world that 8 out of 10 people will literally read the hook. And in that first sentence, they'll decide if they can give it a like or a comment.
That's good.
And that is how quickly they're going to make a decision.
Okay, so Judy Fox is saying the description box, the LinkedIn copy matters. Scott, let's go to the graphics here. What did you learn from your test? You did a test and actually looking at the data of what type of post will give you the most likes, the most comments, and the most views. Let's go to that graphic right now. Talk to us a little bit about what we're seeing.
Yeah, what we did is we tested links and photos and text only posts to see which one got more views. And then this was brought to us about Melanie Dodaro asked us to test this because she was seeing some interesting stuff. So we looked at posts on my personal account, on Agorapulse account, and Melanie's. And this is kind of what we came up to when we averaged all of them together. We had over 1,000% more views on the text only updates. So these are like questions like, what are you doing if, on this situation, or, hey, here's an opinion, or here's something funny. So it was really interesting to me because I think as a marketer, I'm always about the links and about the visuals. But as Judy was just saying, she didn't even know we were, this is what the results were.
I know that.
The copy is so important. And I think that points it out. And our next test will be even closer to what Judy just said. But I think because it was text only, people are more apt to add in their 2 cents. Where a link, they might go, okay, cool link, I'll go read it. I'll go over to the website and come back. or hey, cool photo, here's a like. But when you ask a question and lead people, give people a reason to add a comment and respond, the views go way up on LinkedIn and probably elsewhere as well. Of course, we know on Facebook they never done so well, but that's where I saw on this one, and it was mind blowing to me because like I said, I'm always just posting links on LinkedIn, trying to drive traffic. But maybe we need to be more about community and more about talking to people and having a conversation.
Your thoughts, Judy Fox?
I agree. That call to action, opening up with a hook. Then I tell people to put a intrigue line. It's not clickbait, but it's something to get them to see more. And then doing that long copy where I have definitely seen the results that come from having really, really great written word on LinkedIn. You can pair it with a good video. You can pair it with a good picture or a good link external, but it's always the written copy that makes the difference.
So why is it, do you think, that Scott's experiment showed that text without video, without images performed so well?
Wait, was that me?
Yes. You're the guest of the show. I'm not sure. Did we let her know? Did we cue her in? Why? Yeah, like what's your hypothesis? What's your hypothesis on why text performs so well on LinkedIn?
I think because LinkedIn was not a video platform. It was not a share pictures of your family and friends platform. It was the platform of people maybe thinking I'm going to grab the newspaper and I'm going to read something. And so sending them to an article where they read it off of LinkedIn doesn't necessarily work. But if you can summarize a level up moment for somebody in a written word for them on LinkedIn, they will engage and they will comment and it will become like a deeper conversation.
Mariela Quintero is joining us again. It's good to see you, Mariela. She's saying, definitely looking to start a conversation on LinkedIn is my goal. Dustin Stout is saying, this is the exact formula I used on Google Plus back in the day. Great thoughts there, guys. You know, something to think about too. Judy, do you have like this intuitive feeling of like, you know, what's going to perform before you even post it? Or are you also in a place like us where you're like, let's just see what this will do?
I think, and I don't know if this comes from years of studying copy and looking, and also being somebody who has a lot of, how do I say this, maybe high empathy. I can literally reverse feel what somebody might see when they want to give a like. So your likes and your comments on LinkedIn are shown to your colleagues. And how that psychologically makes you look is all the political like world of corporate that we all have at some point touched in or lived in. And we have to remember that your likes and comments are how you show up to your colleagues. And they're going to see what you liked. They're going to see what you commented. And to be able to reverse that, that is my special superpower. Okay.
All right. So what are some do's and don'ts then within the comment section here? We're kind of going off script a little bit because I'm interested in this. Like, what are some of the do's and don'ts of commenting on posts? Is there, don't come off negative, or does it even matter? Your thoughts on the do's and don'ts, Judy Fox, of posting on LinkedIn?
I'll start with some of the don'ts. Don't be sarcastic. Sarcastic doesn't necessarily translate because if
what do you
don't
mean?
know your sense of humor, it can just rub people the really, really wrong way and be taken out of context. So a lot of people will try that type of humor and it will fall flat. The next thing is don't be negative. It's like a double don't. Don't be not
That's
negative.
That's a horrible tip.
Yeah, exactly. And then here's some of the do's. Show support for the person's content you just liked and commented on. There's this thing called spontaneous trait transfer. I have learned so much and studied it recently, where the things you say positively about the other person in the comments, people will actually think that about you. Oh my gosh.
That's interesting. That's really interesting. I never want to show up and be like, oh, I disagree with this post. Although there are times when I disagree with the post and maybe might engage in that. I can appreciate that if someone's like, I don't know, Owen. Like I posted a thing about finding a different kind of editor for your videos, right? Like, hey, you need to find a business-minded editor, not someone who's necessarily the best creative. And I had just amazing engagement in Some agreed, some disagreed, and I will say this: it was all respectful and it was all polite, and that kind of leads us to our next point. But before I get there, I want to ask a question. Dax Castro is asking: so rather than writing articles on LinkedIn, should I make long form posts? Your thoughts, Judy Fox?
I definitely think both work. Long form posts, for me personally, are nice to then turn into articles that live on and they're evergreen, and they will show up more now in Google search than ever before. So it's very powerful strategy to test your content out in the platform as a post, as a long form post, and then turn what converts into a long form article that then is built to sell you.
So you make the post to see what resonates, and then take what resonates, turn it into a post. Did you hear that, Kathy Jung? Because Kathy Jung is asking a very similar question. Jose Castaneda is saying, I noticed everyone trying to sound intelligent on LinkedIn. What do you think about that? Is there pretentiousness on LinkedIn, Judy Fox, and how do we deal with it?
There can be. I think the best way is to think of yourself as a leader. How would you show up in front of a boardroom of a group of people, and how would you share your expertise from a leadership? Would a good leader sound pretentious? No. Yeah. They would be trying to empower the group to make decisions themselves, or share lessons learned, or maybe curious questions. But showing up as a leader is powerful.
Yeah, and I do that best with my shirt off. Drop your LinkedIn profile in the comment. Drop your LinkedIn profile in the comment section. Scott and I and Judy Fox will do our best to go and follow you as soon as the show is over. Let's talk about strategy number 2. Short versus long text. And this is a big one to me. So do you show up on LinkedIn and ask a quick question like, hey, how do you guys make your sales, right? Hey, who's the CEO out there? Let me know. Or do you, like Judy was kind of mentioning, write a little bit more? Scott, let's turn it over to you. What have you discovered in some of your tests on LinkedIn with short and long form posts?
Yeah, what we did on this test is we used 3 different accounts. 2 of them were business. One was Agorapulse. One was a local recruiting firm that I've helped out. And then my own personal profile. And we looked at short posts. What I did every time we test short posts, we always do under 140 characters, kind of the old, I call it a wig tip. To Twitter and their old limits. So it's easy for us to kind of look at those limits, because usually you get that read more after a certain point there.
Right.
So we did under 140 and then over 140 to however long we wanted it to be. 14 on each account short, 14 on each account long. And what we found was, I'm trying to pull it up here. There we go. Is a short text post. So those posts under 140 characters long, text only, no links, no go back and, the link in the comment thing. We had about 14% higher views compared to those long posts, which I was really shocked by, because a lot of these were like snippets out of blog posts. Some of them, for like the recruiter, were job postings that we just kind of put in, as a post itself. But the shorter performed better. And I think it goes back to kind of what we just were talking about is these were engaging type short posts. Yeah. They were questions, they were statements of fact or motivational quote. Or something of that nature, which gets more hands on it. People are more apt to click on it and talk about it and get into engage in that conversation. Just like I do like what Judy was saying about the comment on LinkedIn. You're really careful about what you engage with, because everybody does see it. Like when I go to my activity and I can see everybody else's comment and like it, I'm like, oh, why did that guy comment on that? Yeah. And so you do, because LinkedIn's kind of your, it's your online resume. Shows where your jobs are connected to it. You're typically, especially if you work for a company, like I work for Agorapulse, so I'm connected to Agorapulse through that a lot more than I am elsewhere. So I think people are a little more cognizant of what they engage with. And so that's why I think that the short posts that are just questions and people can kind of get in there and add their input did so much better on this. Judy, what are your thoughts on that? We just talked about long versus short, but what have you seen that before?
Scott, I'll ask the questions here. Okay, Judy, what are your thoughts?
I didn't want any dead air. Thanks, Owen.
Do we have laughter? I don't think we have laughter here. Go ahead. Yeah, go ahead.
Scott nailed it, in the sense that when the short posts are out there, it is easier to see what you're attaching your social capital or your reputation to. So the faster you can figure out, yes, that's not going to make me look bad, or, oh, that's going to not be the best conversation for me to engage in. So the quicker people can figure that out, and sometimes that is through short comments, short text, that you can read it quickly and decide that's going to be really good for my social capital.
Now, what are some examples of posts that you should not engage in? Are we talking about politics and religion here, or are we talking more about, corporate, maybe the sexual harassment comment? Not that you're harassing, but if somebody's talking about sexual harassment, you say, "Oh, that's not affiliated with my brand. I'm not going to talk about that." What's the filter, Judy Fox, that we should use in knowing what to comment on and what not? Knowing that your audience will see it.
Yeah, so I tend to only comment on people that are showing up. I keep saying that with that leadership energy, but you can tell when somebody's being really negative, or they're coming at a question or a post from a place of, add your 2 cents. I want to engage in a conversation about this. And there's just those two types of energies, and you can really feel them. Somebody venting versus somebody wanting to level everybody else up on the community because we're going to learn something.
Is venting not appropriate in a business environment?
I don't think venting serves you long-term in business.
Yeah. And I certainly don't see leaders venting. I really love what you said about showing up as a leader, and I think one of the primary principles of leadership is that you complain up as a leader, right? You don't complain down, right? So when there is, I think venting is a very like a self-help type of thing that's very therapeutic to vent. You should have mentors in your life. In fact, I just recently connected my son with a local leader here to develop him on the path of mentorship. I know that my 12-year-old son doesn't always want to vent to me, right? Because he's got things he wants to keep from me, and I get that. Same in business, right? It's like you don't want to necessarily put all your baloney out there in the news feed. You keep that for a coffee conversation with someone that is local to you, and a friend, a family member, something like that. But we got a lot of questions coming in, so I want to go over to that. Want to welcome Angela Brooks, Stephen B. O'Sullivan logging in, and Jennifer Ast, who is one of our favorite people. Good to have you here. So where is Natsim Beltran is asking, what about doing live video on LinkedIn? Is it as useful as YouTube and Facebook? Judy Fox, your thoughts?
I have found LinkedIn Lives convert to really, really intense conversations in the direct messages. I have not seen anything convert like LinkedIn Lives to direct messages to actually talk about.
Sorry.
Oh, what?
I meant to hit ka-ching. There it is.
I was like, what did I say wrong?
Can't repurpose that.
Actually, you can with good copy.
I do. Good. No, I love it. So how do we convert though? What type of video will convert? You're talking about, you have your Fox ears on, and I think there's a lot of, especially men out there going I can't do that, right? I can't show up with Fox ears on. So what type of live video converts, and maybe even video in general? Your thoughts, Judy Fox?
I think video and live video that converts is having a clear call to action and one call to action. Okay. So if you are constantly asking in a LinkedIn Live or in a video that you upload to LinkedIn, I saw Jackie Hermanis, she's CEO of Acelity, and she's been posting some really incredible videos that all at the very end, she either says verbally the question, puts the same exact question in the copy, or she'll have an end screen that has the question. And it's just one question. And that allows the community to know exactly what they're going to answer.
How long is that video?
About a minute. She keeps a lot of videos right at the minute mark or less.
Who said that?
I've been studying her content because she is just... she's doing an amazing job on LinkedIn too. So
what's the name of that creator again? So we can all go give her a follow.
Jackie. Yeah, exactly. She's going to be like, why is my LinkedIn blowing up? I hope I don't say her last name. Hermes, Hermes.
Hermes is probably,
thank you.
But I don't want to brag. Okay. So we got another question coming in. Jose Castaneda is saying, Judy, what was your most successful post on LinkedIn and why?
I have a video post that was really successful. It was getting close to 150,000 views and over close to maybe 2,000, 3,000 likes and comments. And that was about a simple tip, which was, if you wouldn't say it in a meeting, don't say it in the comments on
that's
LinkedIn.
so good. That is good. I love that. I love that one.
It was an etiquette tip. And then my other post was 5 ways to sell well in your cover image on LinkedIn, in your profile cover image. And that one went to 500,000.
Wow, 500,000. Now, what is the tip? Share with us the tip. And if you have a chance, maybe I'll stall for a little bit. You can find the link for us. We'll get that up to 1 million maybe with our audience here today.
I turned it into an evergreen article. So that
great.
It would live on.
So what was the tip there? How do you show up in your LinkedIn banner image?
An image is worth 1,000 words, and so many people are leaving that banner image as either the standard blue box with the constellations on it, or they're just putting up a city skyline. But that could literally be your business card. It can show your social proof. We are literally built to trust people if they've been featured somewhere, anywhere. You've been on a show with Owen Video, put it up there.
Yeah, heck yeah.
But us seeing you either on stage, your book, if you are in an industrial type of company, I know that Roger Wakefield, he had his truck behind him with his plumber logo and his phone number right behind him positioned on the truck. And now I think he has his YouTube banner image, but position yourself. It is a huge place to be a billboard of you.
Oh, that's good. That's good.
Billboard
Roger Wakefield, by the way, is an incredible video
awesome.
creator on LinkedIn and somebody who you should all follow. I'm going to tag him in our comment section right now.
Yeah.
Kathy Jung is asking that she says, I'm repurposing my YouTube video for LinkedIn, but I'm keeping them under 2 minutes. Is that a good idea? Yes or no, Judy Fox?
Yes. And actually, I tell people, if you have a cold audience, that means you're getting less than 10 likes and comments per post, then you want to start even shorter than a minute. You want to keep it at that psychological 58, 59 seconds, or literally even shorter, because once you gain some traction, you can keep it. But to get that initial traction, you have to pop.
Okay. All right. So we're going to keep that conversation going. Tell us, what's your biggest takeaway so far? What are you going to do differently on LinkedIn? Let us know in the comment section below. We're going to talk about strategy number 3, which is hashtags on LinkedIn. Now, this, blows my mind, because I'll get these posts that are like, oh, your post is trending in this type of thing, and I'll have like 13 views on it, and it's just like, oh, well, Lottie freaking da. You know what I mean? I'm trending with 13 views. Are the numbers like they'll update at the hour, or what is the deal with hashtags? Scott Ayers, why don't you start with this one and talk to us a little bit about the data behind hashtags on LinkedIn?
Yeah, what we studied is we wanted to see, because hashtags, we use them elsewhere. We use them on Instagram and Twitter, some on Facebook. So we always wanted to see if can you get any leverage using at least one hashtag on a LinkedIn post. So we did 20 pieces of content on 2 different accounts with hashtags, 20 without hashtags, to kind of just get a baseline to see if it was worth the effort. Because now LinkedIn even suggests hashtags. Like I was posting a link over to our live show earlier, and it suggested hashtags for me, which is so intriguing to me that they audit. And they're usually right on too, as far as what I'm talking about. Now, are they good hashtags? That's a whole other thing.
Right.
Now, what we found was when we use at least one hashtag on our post, we had 29.59% higher views or / impressions. Because I was using one business account, one my personal profile. So you get different data from views versus impressions. So what this tells me is there is validity in using hashtags on LinkedIn, because you are going to get more views. People evidently are looking and searching hashtags. Right. I've never gone to LinkedIn and searched for a hashtag like I have on Twitter or Instagram. So I was kind of surprised that it was that much higher.
Your thoughts, Judy Fox. Hashtags on LinkedIn, good, the bad, the ugly. What do you know? What can you share with our audience?
I recommend to all of my clients that we use a one personal hashtag, only try to grow one personal one. And that's more for branding and also for just positioning yourself from people being able to see your content and follow your personal hashtag.
Sure.
And then the next thing is to use about 3 to 4 to get your content in front of those extra 29 to 30% of those people. And yes, I think trending doesn't necessarily mean something now for numbers and views, but I think it will. I think so. The idea of going trending will eventually mean something.
Okay, but right now it's not something we should be paying too much attention to. No need to go out and celebrate, as it were, right, when you're posting.
There's a lot of celebration about it, but I think the value in it is knowing that you are hitting something that LinkedIn is rewarding, and LinkedIn shows you and tells you, if we're going to put it in the notifications that you're trending, eventually that will start to work.
Right. Okay. So interesting. LinkedIn, I think, operates so differently than the other social media networks, right? Whereas, Facebook has all this data and they sort of roll stuff out. I get the feeling that LinkedIn is kind of like, like I Love Lucy in the Chocolate Factory, and they're just trying to keep up with stuff. They don't put it out there. You know what I mean? Yeah, keeping things going. I wish next time we'll have to get B-roll of that. We got a comment down here. Kristen Armitage is saying, you can select hashtags to follow, and those topics will pop up in your feed. Is that something you recommend, Judy Fox?
Yes, and also it helps you discover more so you can figure out which ones you want to use, because people, and slight plug, go follow hashtag Fox Rocks.
That's good. What will that do?
Yeah, what would that do?
What?
No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. And by the way, Scott, you spelled it wrong in the comment sections. Hey, if you're just joining us,
I deleted that one. All
right, good. I'll have to refresh. Hey, if you're just joining us, we're talking with Judy Fox for LinkedIn tips that will help you grow your business, but also help you perform for those of you that are running social media businesses. In fact, I would love to hear, what is your LinkedIn headline, or what would it be if you could go change it right now? Tell us in the comment section below. We got a question coming in from Natsim Beltran, who is asking, what is your least favorite feature on LinkedIn, and what is your favorite? Judy Fox, let us know.
Oh, I'm going to start with my least. Right now, I'm still so disappointed with how the groups perform. I wish they were so much more powerful for community building, and that they actually would show up in your newsfeed for conversation, and they were not these spam playgrounds. So yes, I feel for the group functionality, and I'm hoping and crossing my fingers LinkedIn does improve that.
Can you access groups on your mobile device? I'm in a couple groups that are kind of brand new and fresh and sort of made up of not, I've been on LinkedIn since 2008, 2010 maybe. Didn't even really use it until the last couple years. And so I'm in this brand new group that I'm excited about, but I cannot for the life of me figure out how to access it on mobile. Any tips there, Judy Fox?
I end up having to type the name of the group in the top. It can definitely be very frustrating. And then I've noticed there's Quentin Allums was running a group on LinkedIn, and he recently just said, hey guys, I'm just need to move this back over to Facebook, because that's where we're getting conversation to happen, and that's where the likes and comments are happening.
Yeah, that's really interesting. Alfredo echoes that. He's watching us in the watch party and says the group features on Facebook work better than on LinkedIn. Now, Judy, I am getting some sort of verbiage in the comment section here. You said to create one personal hashtag. Mm-hmm. Are you saying to only use one hashtag in your post, or were you saying just to have one hashtag for you personally?
So I have a pattern in my posts, and this is what I coach, and I'm giving it all away. But basically it goes that hook line, intrigue line, the body of your post, what you're going to say. And then I only have one hashtag that is my personal, that I pull out of the group of hashtags that I put at the bottom. Okay. So does that make sense?
Yeah. So you put a group of hashtags at the bottom. Is there a number that we should avoid, or a number we should strive for? At least 5, no more than 10?
I try to stay below 5.
Okay. All right. So you're really just trying to stay hyper focused.
Relevant hashtags. I'm curious about that, Judy.
If you look at the ones you're already following on the left-hand side of your home screen, there is something called Discover More underneath the hashtags.
Mm-hmm.
And I just click that, and all of a sudden it's a huge page of random hashtags that are maybe based on what I already followed. So that's a great place to start.
Okay, let's talk a little bit about LinkedIn headlines. For those of you who haven't written your headline in, go ahead and write it in now. We've got one from Kathy Jung. We can't show the comment because it's in a watch party, and we can't show comments that are in watch parties. But Kathy Jung is saying her headline is Fitness Coach for Mom, Social Media Helper for Newbies, Freelance Illustration Artist. Judy Fox, what tips can you give her about that particular LinkedIn headline?
I think the best example is to pull out one word, which I heard, which was newbie. The person who is a newbie, are they going to search for the word newbie? Are they calling themselves that? Because that's the way you get found, is to think about the way somebody would search for you.
Yeah, that's interesting. That's interesting. So how is there any way to reverse engineer that, right? So like I'm a YouTube strategy coach, a YouTube expert. That's really where we excel. Is there a way that would I just kind of like type that in and see what shows up? Or is there a way I can see, like, how do we reverse engineer what words we should use?
The way I reverse engineer it is I will go out and see how many people are currently searching for those words and how many results show up with those people in those headlines.
Got it.
So for example, if I type in the word coach versus coaching,
yeah,
how many results are showing up? And then I always look, it's like Google search. Who showed up in the first couple of lines? LinkedIn may have connected the fact that I live in my local area and may show people in my local area, but I'm still going to pay attention to how those people and what other keywords are in their headline and in their profile for why they got to the top of that search result.
Okay, really, really interesting here. Now, what about, and I'm seeing this a lot, Anna Morgan is saying, recruiter, job search strategy, career coach, your career's best friend. Is there something to be said about sort of the bullet point headline versus the I help demographic with my core product, which I see a ton of on LinkedIn right now? Do you have any thoughts or opinions on the best type of LinkedIn headline?
I definitely do. I love Anna Morgan. She is one of my Fox Rockstar clients. And the reason why we remove the I help is immediately the audience hears the word, I'm helpless. The opposite is helpless. And so when I hear I help over and over and over again, I'm like, I don't know if you can help me.
Yeah.
And I think we're taking up keyword space.
Yeah.
So
good.
a more powerful word is to truly just say who you are and that you can get them results. And so if you start to reverse the kind of words they would search for to find you, because they're thinking about the results they want.
Yeah.
I want these results in my life. Who is the person that serves those results? And getting more of those words in that bullet point formula will convert. The rest of your about section is where you then can talk about the results you have, what people say about you, your story. The kind of I help statement is more powerful there.
Okay. All right. Really good tip there. I hope you guys pulled that out. Not seeing Beltrash. Beltran is saying, now I feel helpless. Oh my gosh. Well, don't give up yet, Natsim. We're going to move on to our final tip. Tip number 4 is, where do you put the links? Do you put links at all? Judy Fox, before we go to Scott Ayers, what are your thoughts on posting links on LinkedIn?
My first recommendation is upload the post without the link, leave a space for it, and then go back in and edit it the moment it's up. 2 seconds later, go back in, click the 3 dots, click edit, and put the link in. And LinkedIn does not, right now, as of January 2020, does not punish or slow down the post because it has an external link.
Okay. All right. So why not just post it in the original post then?
I've noticed in the original post, the content doesn't get shown to as many people. And then I will also say that saying the link is in the comments, it can work, but it doesn't convert as many people. If you can just do that quick edit in the first 2 to 3 seconds, you'll still get the same amount of views and way more people are going to click on that.
Yeah. Link. Okay. So what about then the link preview, right? Are you suggesting that there's an image that you're uploading to usurp the link preview, or do you go no link preview and then add the link and then use the link preview?
I don't think a lot of times the link preview is not, you have to be careful. Sometimes the link preview image is not very optimized for LinkedIn.
Right.
And you're better off having your forced image that you wanted it to be, or having your forced video, whatever it is you wanted that image to be, you first making the post, making what you want it to be, and then putting the link in.
Okay. All right. Really great stuff. We got a question from Lily Tree watching on YouTube. We're going to come back to that in just one quick second. Scott, talk to us about the data of this question that I recently asked. Should you hide your links in the comment section? What have you discovered through your searching with the lab?
Yeah, what we did is we tested on the Agora Pulse page the whole idea that Judy just talked about. Hey, the link is in the comments, because people were saying I saw both camps. Some people said they were getting lower engagement from that. Some people said they were getting higher. So we kind of did that on I think it's 6 or 7 different posts to try to see if there was any difference between the two. And what we found was when we put the links in the comments, we actually did have higher reach, or you could call that views, but 169% higher when we did that. Now, before everybody goes, oh yeah, go run and let's do the whole link and comment thing. I think the reason that goes up is I have to physically go over there and add the link in the comments, right? And so I'm actually increasing the views and reach of that particular post.
Right.
So I think it skewed the numbers a little bit on that. I wasn't as crazy excited about it once you kind of really dig into it and you realize, well, I'm the one that's increasing the reach because I've scheduled these posts. Now I'm going over and I'm touching them and pushing it up, especially the Agora Pulse account. I'm personally going over there, so it's really increasing those views. So I do think it's something you might try to do. I wouldn't really base your strategy on it. I do think what was interesting what Judy was just saying about adding the link after immediately, because if you try to right now, and Judy, you may have seen this or not, if you try to post a link from Facebook, I've tried to post a link to the live show, I get this weird secret link error that comes up on the preview every time that I do it on LinkedIn, whether they just don't like Facebook or what the deal is. So I've just been doing photos on there, but so yeah, strategy worth trying, but I wouldn't depend on it to get more views. And you can't really track the link clicks either unless you're using a link shortener.
Your thoughts, Judy Fox?
Yeah, I definitely see that putting the link in the comments can create another comment and can create engagement, because you put the link in the comment and then people will comment because there's a comment there. So that is something to notice and observe. I think you can do both. There's no stopping you from editing the post, putting the link there, putting the link in the comments and saying, wanted to put it here too. There is nothing stopping any of that.
And then comment on your comment.
Yes. And then the final place I think is really powerful to put it is when people check out your content so many times, they go check out your profile. If you have optimized your profile and you do want traffic to that link, then optimize the crap out of that link.
Yeah. That makes a lot of sense. So we've got some questions coming in, and if you have questions for Judy Fox, we've got a few minutes where we can answer your LinkedIn strategy questions. Lily Tree is asking, how do you get in front of the right eyeballs on LinkedIn? Judy Fox, your thoughts?
I think a lot of people first and sometimes only think about, I need to get my content in front of my ideal client. A lot of times we forget that our ideal clients are acting and interacting with parallel consumers and other types of services. So sometimes we have to think in the parallel streams. Like, for example, a CPA may want to interact, and they're trying to be a CPA for attorneys. They may want to interact with coaches for attorneys, or maybe even fitness professionals, because if an attorney is using a fitness professional, they spend a lot of time talking. There are all these parallel businesses, and we all talk to each other.
Okay, walk us through that, because I find that very interesting, and there's a similar approach that we take to YouTube, where you want to make content for the larger mainstream audience while at the same time not forgetting about who your core customer is. And that's how you get, sort of virality. How would we, let's run through the CPA analysis. So just kind of go with that analogy right there. How would a CPA benefit, or what would that content look like if they were to reach out to fitness, or if there's a better example, then please use that one. Judy Fox, walk us through what that might look like.
So if you are a CPA and you serve attorneys and you're like, how do I get in front of an attorney? You would think to yourself, okay, who are all these attorneys interacting with throughout their entire day or on the platform? And I sometimes notice that they are interacting with coaches who help with presentation skills, those types of industry. And then, like I said, there's a lot of diversity that fitness coaches are working with. And when you think about creating content, you can think from a place of mixing it up, not necessarily just always trying to talk. I only need to talk to attorneys. Right. So I think a, percentage of your content can be split. So if you want to do 30% of your content is talking about attorneys and solving their problems and leaning into that area. The next part could just be leadership type of content. How do you set your goals? How do you run your business? How do you organize your life? And then there's kind of a slight personal part where you could do another 30% where you are leaning into opening up and showing a little behind the scenes of your personal life. We all go through so many things in life, and that is very relatable. I know John Ushai, I'm always going to say people's last names wrong, but he's Instagram product manager. I'm trying to think of his title, but I know he is so powerful. He has Admazing on YouTube. That's his channel that he goes on YouTube, but he talks all the time about, ads and Instagram, but every once in a while he'll post that he just got engaged or something about his father and something very personal, because we are multifaceted human beings.
Yeah, that's interesting, and definitely something that you should be digging into. Monique is asking, will there be a replay? Yes, we are streaming this on the internet, and so it will stay there. So once the show is over, you can refresh the page and watch again, and we would love to see you on there. I'd love to hear from you guys in the audience. Who do you like to follow on LinkedIn? Are they a celebrity? Are they a business influencer? Or is it your neighbor, somebody you know from the local chamber of commerce? Who is somebody that you check in on every single day? Type their name in the comment section below or tag them if you can. Let's create a community, guys. Like, if you're watching this show, then chances are you're into LinkedIn. Let's stay in touch. We only have a few minutes left, and we do have some questions coming in. Natsim Beltran is asking, premium versus free, is it really worth it to go premium? They keep hammering me to go and upgrade. Your thoughts, Judy Fox?
I think it depends on your business. If you are searching a ton, if you are trying to work with your sales team and you have got some, big team and you're doing business development, I definitely think you would want to go premium. If you are not, there's many other ways to kind of get around the limitations of what premium offers. And for example, you can always search on Google and find the people, because LinkedIn is so linked together. And if you search that way, you have basically unlimited search of LinkedIn.
Oh my goodness gracious. Yeah, we've really hacked the LinkedIn search to not need premium. I do see value for it, but in my estimation, if you're not a salesperson, if you're not going to go actively look for people and you've maxed out your free capabilities, then yeah, go premium, right? And I do know people that have actively used LinkedIn to develop Excel files of people's emails, and then you upload those emails over to Facebook, and now they're retargeting those people. So I do see value there. Really, those are pretty advanced strategies, and I do think that LinkedIn, Sales Navigator is exactly that. It's a sales navigator, right? It's designed for really heavy prospecting. But I would, especially for you, Natsim, right? So I think your primary business is the restaurant, right? So, it might be worth it to you to go to LinkedIn and search local people and just invite them to the restaurant, right? You don't need the premium version for that. And keep in mind that any good sales organization is going to hound you for their upgraded version. So, keep that in mind as you continue to move. Kathy Jung is saying, so premium is good for MLM. I would not, Kathy, invest that much money. I would max out your free capabilities first. And you know what? Like MLM, I mean, Judy Fox, you might differ with me on this. Like if with your business, Kathy, like LinkedIn, Instagram, that's going to be Facebook and Instagram is where you're going to find stay-at-home moms who are interested in weight loss, who might be wanting to make a couple extra bucks on the side. Whereas LinkedIn, I remember when I was in multi-level marketing years ago, I started my career. I left bartending to be in multi-level marketing. And I went to downtown San Francisco to recruit. Now, do you really think that the stockbrokers and the C-level executives walking around in San Francisco are interested in a vitamin MLM? I don't think so. And that's sort of the LinkedIn crowd. Judy Fox, your thoughts on upgrading or really just using LinkedIn for multi-level marketing?
It can be used. I definitely think you need to have a stronger content strategy and be more out there on the platform in a commenting and engagement strategy and creating personal relationships. I know that I've seen Arbonne representatives do amazing, but if those were built, and I noticed the way that content and the way that person built their engagement was mainly by having these like really strong connections that they built over time.
Yeah. Huge. Okay, Judy Fox, the big question of the day is how do we implement these 4 tips? Okay, the best types of posts, long and short posts, images versus video, hashtags. Is this a one at a time thing, or should we just go out and change our whole approach right now? Your thoughts, Judy Fox.
I love something I saw Roberto Blake tweet maybe a month ago, but he talked about how it's less overwhelming to us if we just try to level up one thing at a time.
Absolutely.
I don't want everyone to get overwhelmed. There's a million tips and strategies. And what I tell people that come work with me, we spend the first part of our energy on commenting well. Because if you learn to comment well, you'll learn the tone on the platform, and what a leadership comment can look like truly can be turned into a post.
I love that. I absolutely love that. And let me tell you something, guys, if you do everything all at once, you're not going to know what it was that leveled up. In some cases, it could be the fact that you posted on a Wednesday. You know what I mean? It could absolutely be that you posted on a Wednesday. Judy Fox, how do we stay in touch with you? How do we learn more about what you're doing?
You can find me on my website, judifox.com.
So
and that
not LinkedIn then.
Top, it has all my social channels at the top. So yes, go to LinkedIn and go follow #FoxRocks, and you'll see all my content.
And one more time, your website again is
judifox.com.
What a great website URL. I have a great website URL, and Dustin Stout could maybe comment on my website URL, Dustin Stout. But that's a conversation for another day. Hey, show Judy Fox some love, some thumbs up, some likes, some hearts in the comment section. That's right. Do it in the comment section right now. And hey, I've got a question for you. How many of you would like to see us dive into TikTok and talk about TikTok for marketers, for business owners? Write TikTok in the comment section if that's something you would like for us to dig into on a future episode. I know that Scott and I both have some major content happening there, and that can be a big thing. Judy Fox, Thanks for joining us today, and thanks you guys. Man, I need to do more voice warm-ups in the morning. Thank you for joining us on the Agora Pulse page or the watch parties if you're watching right now. I'm Owen Video, the #1 host, with Scott Ayers, your social media scientist. This is the Social Media Lab Live. We'll see you next week.
Thank you for watching the Social Media Lab, brought to you by Agora Pulse, where we use science to crack the social media code. Join us live on Facebook and YouTube to find out what's working and what's not working with social media.